Hello guys and welcome to Steve Knows. Today we have some shocking stories that I can't believe this has happened. It is terrible, but we also have some amazing applications and tools that solve some problems I've been having for such a long time, and tons of new games. So enough chin wagging, let's get started. So starting off with the PSVR 2, you no longer need a special invitation to be part of the VR Elite to get a PSVR 2 pre-order in. You can go straight to the PlayStation Direct page and get stuck in on charging docks, headsets and bundles. Could this be a sign that Sony have not had as much throughput as they were initially expecting? Since the VR market is much larger now, since they dropped the PlayStation VR 1, they thought more people were going to get their hands on one. I think this is probably true, and since some people still don't have a PlayStation 5 and recently perhaps got a Quest, they would rather invest in something else than get a new device just yet. But I know us enthusiasts are ready and excited and cannot wait for the PSVR 2. Hopefully as early adopters they can keep that hype train alive until other people can get involved. Recently we heard of a Ghostbusters game coming to virtual reality, a cooperative one in fact as well, where we can finally cross streams without questioning ourselves. We got a trailer at the Game Awards as well, and Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord is the name, and I have to admit, I can't stand it. It feels like it was the first thing that came to somebody's mind and they ran with it. Or it's a Demio map DLC. But it is built by Dreams, whom I trust to build a polished playable experience. So this is set in the Bay City area, good old San Fran. Hopefully we can meet Zuck and capture him as well in one of those traps. In it, we get to see the gameplay and it looks very questy. Perhaps adding questy to the dictionary should be wise now. Questy, visually not bad, but questionable if this was on PC. It is really great to see lots of classic Ghostbuster gadgets though, but I hope they are used in combination with each other. So you use these items together with teamwork to try and achieve a goal. Someone lays down a trap, the other three have their streams on a ghost and have to move it over together at the same time to get it in that trap. Cooperative play, I just hope, is a core component of this, not a free-for-all. Pico are also throwing shade at Meta now with a holiday bundle that will give away 6 titles with your Pico purchase, and it has okay variety. So not only do you get a headset for £380, which is cheaper than the retail price of the Quest 2 when it's not on sale, you get pancake lenses, a high resolution display, and colour pass-through, and an incredibly light device. These games are Walkabout Mini Golf, Top Tier Mini Golfing, Sports VR, Shores of Loki, After the Fall, Ruins Magus, and Les Mills Body Combat, which isn't bad. I think I would still rather go for the Quest 2, getting Resident Evil 4 and Beat Saber for $350, but that offer may have ended now, I can't quite remember, but at least this Pico offer is running until January, so it can be your rebound. Myself though, in the past, I haven't got along with the Pico 4 as a standalone device, even though it's incredibly light and has these better features. It was my go-to PCVR device though, just standalone. I just couldn't get along with it for some reason. Yeah. And oh my goodness gracious, Steve, the trailer for Behemoth, I know I was making a joke, I know how to say it, has dropped, and I must say it did make me tingle. The second time I watched it, I had to put some towels down. So some background and perspective around this game. So the folks that brought us this are the same people that bring Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners. So think about the inventory management there, the open world, the scavenging, the combat aspect, that feeling of play, and then reskin it all in a fantasy RPG with huge mythical creatures and more. Although I would expect some tweaking on the combat system. This game looks very exciting and I look forward to an in-engine gameplay or headset capture, not this cinematic vision of what they're trying to create. There are certainly a few studios separating themselves this year, and Skydance are one of them. I cannot wait to try this. I'm beyond excited. Hi kids, it brings me great joy now to bring you news around Fortnite in VR, as Epic Games have just come out with an official statement saying they have no plans for Fortnite VR support. So I'm recovering from an illness. Okay, some real talk now, and I apologise for that knob Steve, who gave you some terrible news without an ounce of any remorse. The new version 47 update for the Quest firmware is now out, and with it comes the feature of being able to connect your Quest Pro controllers to your Quest 2. If you have a Quest Pro, I don't know why you'd be connecting it to the Quest 2 anyway, because it's better. But those of you who want to upgrade your controllers, this is going to set you back £300 or $300 for these remotes. And people have been saying these remotes are fantastic. They have these new updated haptics, they have full 360 tracking, but my goodness, they add some stress to your life. I've had the Pro for a little while now, and I keep coming across the same things over and over again that hurt me inside. And the issues are exactly the same on the Quest 2. So although people are saying these remotes are fantastic, they are not the be-all, end-all, and I don't know if I can recommend upgrading them. Compared to the Quest 2 controllers, the feedback is of course better. I didn't really have many tracking issues where I had to use 360 tracking, that was a requirement. I must have 360, I don't have that. These remotes haven't changed my life much. But maybe that's just because I don't notice things, or maybe I'm dead inside. But what continues to happen is a long wait for these remotes to connect and show up, and when they do, they're not aligned with my hands or the controllers. So every time I jump into VR, I'm there for a minute of, come on. And I'm already starting off my VR experience in a bad mood. So the remotes are good, but I'm not sure I would recommend them for your Quest 2. I'd probably wait for the Quest 3 to see what that's offering. This one had me doing my little Mirror's Edge dance, which it needs some choreography. This game is dropping with even more content, and I really do like this experience. And now we get 2 more game modes and a single player campaign. The 2 game modes are available as a demo if you want to try them out. And the first of which is Red Flowers. This is where you have a katana and you're slicing enemies literally in two, taking off heads and abdomens. It looks a bit like Ghost Runner, but native in VR. There is also the Stack, which is a multiplayer mode where you have to fire a disc that rebounds to try and take out the enemy. It looks tricky, but fun. Then there's Fates, the single player campaign that is fully voiced and offers new parkour moves and physics. But it is only an hour long. Although, however, this is a free update. That is a free experience they're offering you. Free! A teaser now, no gameplay, just Attack on Titan VR, which I am curious if any collaboration had occurred with that fan-made title on SideQuest that had been around for a while. So this is being built by Universe, who don't have time to spell out Universe in full or miss out on any VR puns. They created the title Little Witch Academia, which previously was a racing broom experience, very fast-paced. So they have experience in fast-paced titles, which is paramount for Attack on Titan, and reducing motion sickness, which is important for newcomers. So this is expected to come in 2023. Now we have Cloudhead Games doing what the corporate won't. They have revealed their roadmap that contains some community pros. First is December 15th, Pistol Whip will be available on the Pico 4 headset. It will then roll out in February for the PlayStation VR 2 headset. But the big one is, in 2023, the Pistol Mix application. The official modding tool is going to become available so we can create community maps, or scenes as they're called in this game. We will no longer be limited, and the community know how to have a good laugh, but also work hard. So I'm really excited to see what you guys deliver. You're always brilliant. Plus 5 more scenes in an Overdrive update, which should happen around springtime. Now moving on to Vertigo 2. Vertigo reminds me of Mateo311. He recommended it to me and I thought, fine, let's try it. At that time I hadn't had much PCVR experience before, and I was taken back. I was screaming at the first boss in fear. Now Vertigo 2 has been announced and it looks even better. The soundtrack even got me a little groovy as well. I'm a sucker for a soundtrack. This game has a branching story, so your decisions will influence the story that is laid out before you, which is pretty cool. And to point out, this is all the work of a single developer, Zach. If it's anything like the remaster, we are in for a treat. This is expected to come early 2023, keep an eye out. A huge freaking app now, not because the game is next level, but it solves an issue that I'm sure many of us gamers have had, not just VR gamers, since we've got into virtual reality, or since we've got into PC gaming, or since we've got into modern gaming, and it's an easy, elegant solution. GameVRoom, how do you say it? GameVRoom is going to enable us to play our Steam library of our non-VR titles on a huge screen in VR, where we can enjoy higher refresh rates and the higher resolution displays for many who don't have a good monitor. But it will also map the VR controllers to the controllers you want to use in game. so you don't have to go grab another joypad or use the keyboard and mouse, which is fantastic. And it's not just button presses, you can also add gestures and virtual buttons. So to dash, you can flick your remotes forward. If you want to crouch, you can have a virtual button you just slap in VR. To change a gun or reload, you can pull something from behind your back. Gives me a bit of a Wii vibe. And oh, for any Scottish people watching, Wii vibe as in Wii console, not a little vibe. And what's even better is they have a couch co-op feature where you can play with a friend in your virtual room together playing couch co-op, but they are not actually there, they are somewhere else. And I love that you can invite a friend into your room and play couch co-op together, all streamed to both of your headsets. Because couch co-op has been dying. I grew up a virtual gamer. I grew up as a retro gamer. Couch co-op was a huge thing, and modern gaming that's falling further and further away. Now moving on to virtual desktop, it's just had a big performance improvement update, but also a lockdown. This is version 1.257, the latest as of today. This has been updated to reduce the micro stutters on Steam VR titles, but has also started to put parallel processors in to potentially improve your wireless PCVR experience up to 20%. And that is something that was already performing well, so 20% is massive. Great work, guy. However, there is now a DRM check, so you do have to be connected to the internet when you use virtual desktop, because there's been an issue with pirating copies, and to tackle this, he's had to add the DRM requirement. Personally, I don't think it's that deep. I get exactly why it's been done, but some people are very upset about it. It's a business after all. He's doing amazing work, offering free updates continuously, and he deserves every penny from every single app. There has to be a cash flow. Now moving on to a few quickfire news stories, some nice to knows without talking too much about them. This explanation of quickfire news stories might be longer than the segment itself, which is ironic. It's not. So the first of which is Tiny Island, an incoming god simulator where you will manage your world using chopsticks. It's apparent in the trailer, this is obviously Asian inspired, where you can be a chopstick god for the dim sum people. They actually call them dumplings, but the dim sum people I think sounds much better. There's also a rather cheeky Megan Thee Stallion app. It's been rated R, and it's got some quite cheeky, and I mean cheeky, up close naughtiness, and it's rather sus. So the app feeds you a scene of naughty oi oi, and then it will charge you for additional scenes, and it's a bit like a paint stripper club. This kind of business model in VR, I'm a bit okay. But what this is supposed to be is a concert-like experience using high-quality 3D capture tools, so the person you're seeing performing looks fantastic, and they add some post-processing elements as well. So it's a new way to enjoy concerts. This is just check it out. And to make you aware, Steam have also removed the long list of supported headsets in favor of a motion controlled tag for us to determine whether or not a game is virtual reality compatible or not. So if next time you go to a title and you're like, wait, it doesn't say Rift, it doesn't say Vive, it doesn't say Valve, instead you're going to look for controller tracks, and that tells you that this is a VR supported game. They didn't tell the developers they were doing this either, and automatically filled in the form that was required to update this content. Not good, Valve, you cheeky, cheeky devils. And finally ending on a rather deep story, so I'm just going to lower the tone here. A 10-year-old boy had popped, I don't really want to use that word, I just didn't want to actually say the thing on YouTube, and ended the life of his mother, who would not buy him a VR headset. So this happened in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on the 21st of November at 7 AM. This was on a Monday, which is a school day, so it's already off to a bad morning. And he went and grabbed the firing arm from his mum's room and went down to the basement where she was doing laundry and did the deed. And after, went and ordered the VR headset on her computer, logging into her Amazon account. This is just mental. I love VR, but that's too much. I can't believe that happened. But apparently the child had problems before, so VR's not to blame. Just something was going on there. So that's it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Please subscribe, and hopefully I will see you next time. Have a great week. Happy gaming. Good day.